former St. Louis Cardinal, Alex Reyes. This is a 2021 All-Star who had 29 saves in 2021. We didn't see him at all in 2022. And I think that's probably why he's still a free agent right now. But again, we saw that he has the stuff. There was a lot of question marks towards the end of the season in 2021. He threw the last pitch against the Dodgers in that playoff game to lose it. I believe Chris Taylor was the one that hit that game winner that knocked the Cardinals out of the playoffs. But again, an All-Star in 2021. It seems like he's going to head out from the St. Louis and be on a different team, but he's only 28 years old. He has reliability and poise in that bullpen. We've seen it in just his only 4 years, really 3 years, 2019, 2020, 2021 in the pen. I know he came up a little bit in 2016, but they were messing with him as a starter at that point. This is a guy who was at one point a very high draft pick in the MLB draft. I like him. I do. I think that he has an opportunity to really, just make a comeback, if you will. Now, obviously missing out of all of last year, but I'm not sure where he fits. What about you?
Yeah, he's interesting, right? Because he's high strikeout. That you mentioned the nearly 30 saves. I think that's people are going to pay attention to that. They're going to remember that. But is he healthy? Who knows? And even if he's healthy, the command, the walks per 9 innings are kind of ugly, right? Like that's something that teams, if you're going to put somebody into a late leverage situation, I think that's the kind of something you're going to pay attention to. But again, with the Chad Green situation, we saw a creative contract. Maybe something similar can be in Alex Reyes' future. I think that there's just too much not to like about that. He will land somewhere. The Blue Jays even had interest back in December. And we know they're not afraid to take a risk on the guy who's injured. So maybe there's another candidate. But this is one I can't, I guess, pinpoint, right? So for me, this would be probably the biggest shot in the dark guess out there of our whole list, really. Excuse me. So I honestly can't predict where Alex Reyes is going. Maybe back to St. Louis. I can't get my head around it.
San Diego could use some help with their pitching.
Yeah.
And you know what would be also interesting, and they have been very active this offseason, the Minnesota Twins. I think the Twins went and traded in the offseason or in the trade deadline last year for Jorge Lopez. Didn't work out as great as they wanted to, but he's still there. Getting a guy like Alex Reyes to possibly go ahead and take a chance on, if it works out, fantastic. You have a potential all-star player or in your bullpen. If it doesn't work out, then you're fine. But you can see it. It's written in pen or not in pencil anymore that the Minnesota Twins are setting themselves up to not just compete for the AL Central, but they're looking for the next few years to be in a World Series. And you find a way to get a guy like Alex Reyes in your bullpen, and he winds up to be that gem that we saw in 2021, and he's only your 7th inning, 8th inning guy. Yeah, that's a pretty nice thing to have in a bullpen, especially a team like the Twins who are on the up and up. That stock is only rising, in my opinion.
Yeah, I like that pick. I like it a lot.